Today, I want to tell you about two of the most dangerous counterfeit products currently circulating in China in 2026. Let's start with number 2 on the list, a product called Exosome. Now, this might sound unfamiliar, but Exosome is an injectable treatment being heavily marketed as a black tech anti-aging solution. A single injection costs anywhere from 10,000 to 30,000 Chinese yuan, and a full treatment course typically runs between 30,000 and over 100,000 yuan. What consumers don't know is that in China, not a single Exosome product has ever been legally approved for sale. There is no such category in the medical device classification system either. In plain terms, these are triple no products, no batch number, no production standard, no regulatory oversight whatsoever. And yet, somehow, these products have been talked up into something almost mythical. Across short video platforms, private social media groups, and countless aesthetic clinics, Exosome is packaged as an all-powerful miracle cure claiming to repair cells at a level deeper than stem cells, improve hair loss, restore skin, boost immunity, and in some cases, merchants have even claimed it can treat chronic diseases and cancer. Those claims have drawn in large numbers of elderly consumers desperately looking for treatment options. One biotech company in a southwestern Chinese city took this scam to an extreme. Undercover journalists discovered that the company was selling unlabeled frozen Exosome concentrate as if it were a certified medical-grade product, while disguising the transaction as a technical service to sidestep the law. Even more alarming, they had arrangements with partner medical facilities to administer intravenous injections of this triple no product inside the premium treatment areas of actual hospitals, charging 60,000 yuan for 600% billion particles, with zero efficacy data to back up any of their claims. Another product called Qingcheng was selling briskly at aesthetic clinics across the country, with packaging that labeled it as a Class 2 medical device. But staff at its manufacturer, a company called Halen Biotech, openly admitted that the certification being used actually belonged to a collagen product, repurposed purely to slip past regulators. Multiple companies exposed in investigations, including Howlin and Yuanchuang Zhen in Zhengzhou, were all found to be operating the same shell game, selling one thing under the license of another. The important thing to understand here is that Exosome is, in fact, a legitimate subject of cutting-edge medical research. It refers to tiny vesicles secreted by cells, and scientists around the world are studying its potential. But being a research subject is not the same as being clinically usable, and laboratory findings are absolutely not the same as an approved medical product ready for human use. Right now in China, Exosome has not been approved as a drug. There is no unified production standard, and there is no clear quality control system in place. Most of the Exosome injections on the market are, in essence, unregulated experiments being conducted on paying human subjects. If something goes wrong, consumers have almost no legal recourse, and the damage done to the body may be irreversible. Moving on to the number 1 most dangerous product on the list, chicken feet soaked in industrial-grade hydrogen peroxide. You might think you're eating a bag of smooth, tender, fashionable snack chicken feet. The reality is that what you're most likely eating is low quality, partially rotted chicken feet that have been chemically bleached in industrial hydrogen peroxide, a process being run on an industrial scale by underground workshops that purchased as many as 5,242 drums of the chemical for this exact purpose. In 2025, China's chicken feet snack market reached a total value of 34.96 billion yuan. Within that enormous market, many brands operated with gross profit margins exceeding 50% and some pushing 60%. One brand alone, Guaishi Fu, reportedly generated annual sales of 400 million yuan from chicken feet as a single product. But those profits didn't come from premium ingredients or careful craftsmanship. They came from cheap industrial hydrogen peroxide and systematic corner cutting at every stage of production. A 500-gram pack of these trendy chicken feet sells for as little as 15 yuan. The legitimate production costs for the same quantity, factoring in raw materials, sanitation, packaging, and distribution, is at least 20 yuan. The math simply does not add up through any honest means. The entire profit model depends on what happens inside those industrial chemical drums. Undercover investigators documented one facility alone, purchasing more than 5,242 drums of chemicals. Chicken feet that were dark, dirty, and in some cases already beginning to decompose were dumped onto filthy cement floors inside dark, damp workshops. No sanitation equipment, no protective gear, no food handling standards of any kind. They were then thrown into large vats filled with murky hydrogen peroxide solution and left to soak for hours. What emerged was, in a way, remarkable. Chicken feet that had been blackened and caked with grime came out white, plump, and visually appealing. Even the grime lodged inside nail grooves had been chemically eaten away. From those workshops, they went straight onto supermarket shelves and into live stream shopping carts as viral trending snacks. The reason these operators are so obsessed with industrial hydrogen peroxide goes beyond the low cost. It bleaches instantly, concealing the poor quality of the base material. It acts as a preservative, extending shelf life under room temperature. And it causes the chicken feet to absorb water and increase in weight, which means less actual product per package, further driving down cost and inflating profit. One workshop owner stated it plainly: "Without hydrogen peroxide, the chicken feet are too dark and ugly to sell. With it, costs drop by half and profits double. The health risks, meanwhile, are being buried." Industrial hydrogen peroxide is not a food-grade additive. It contains heavy metals and harmful impurities that have no place in anything meant for human consumption. Regular intake of chicken feet processed this way can corrode the lining of the stomach and intestines, causing nausea, vomiting, and abdominal pain. Long-term exposure risks damage to the liver and kidneys and may increase cancer risk. And what makes this situation truly alarming is not that it happens in secret, it's that it happens at scale and across the entire industry. Many of these underground workshops operate with no production licenses, no hygiene permits, and no basic sanitation equipment, yet they run openly. Industrial hydrogen peroxide evaporates relatively easily and is difficult to detect in standard inspections. Some operators even rinse the chicken feet in plain water after processing specifically to erase chemical traces and make regulatory detection harder. This is not a case of one bad actor cutting corners. It is a systemic problem embedded across a 34.96 billion yuan market, where minimal oversight and extremely low barriers to entry have created an environment where cheating is the rule, not the exception. It is not simple product substitution. It is the deliberate use of industrial chemicals in place of legitimate food processing, with a complete and calculated disregard for consumer health. Okay, and those are two of the most dangerous products currently being sold in China in 2026. An unverified injectable marketed as cutting-edge medicine, and a bag of bright white chicken feet made presentable through industrial chemicals. If you enjoyed this video, you can subscribe to the channel and check out the other videos. And for now, bye!